So what's the difference between a co-op and an internship?
That's actually a very good question. At Northeastern University, in my department, we actually use the terms interchangeably. Students search for a co-op or internship, we treat it the same. But typically, an internship is much shorter in duration, could be 6 to 10 weeks, and it's a little bit more structured, where the organization or company will have a training program or a program where you go to classes, etc. For a co-op, much longer in duration, 4, 6, or 8 months in length, and you're supposed to hit the ground running. As soon as you start working, you're adding value to the team, and it's a little bit less structured for that piece. You're more considered as an employee as a co-op compared to an intern, which is a little more structured, but comes across as not as important, I guess.
And how can students increase their chances of getting a co-op if they don't have relevant work experience or are kind of a fresher and new student?
A couple things. First, experience counts. What I mean by that is if you have an on-campus job or a part-time job, that could be very, very beneficial for you to apply for positions. Second, your course projects are very helpful as well. We stress that people put, if it's applicable, there are projects on the resume, as well as to be proactive and maybe do their own projects that they can add skill sets to the resume as well. The third thing I believe is confidence. I believe if you have a lot of confidence in your job searching abilities, such as resume writing, networking, etc., that can go a long way in interacting or making a connection with the employer.
Amazing. We are talking about the most common questions about co-ops here in America. My friends, welcome to Chine Coaching. I'm Rob, and at Chine Coaching, we're all about helping internationals succeed in their cross-cultural journeys, especially for students who want to get internships and co-op jobs. We've got John from Northeastern University. He's a director there, helping students get these co-ops, a mentor to students, and we're answering the most common questions that students ask that you guys have submitted about co-ops. So John, thanks for being here, and go ahead and introduce yourself.
Thank you very much, Rob. Again, my name is John Blakeney. I'm a co-op coordinator within Northeastern University, but I wasn't doing this my whole career. I spent 15 to 20 years in corporate America, working at finance companies, working with retirement plans, things like that. I always had the school bug in me, and I've always wanted to give back by teaching various subjects. I'm a mid-career change professional where I actually moved to higher education about 7 years ago. And I'm now here at Northeastern University, and I've been here for about 5.5 years ago, working with students and advising students in their co-op search, as well as working with employers trying to find that great match.
Wonderful. Well, we're grateful to have you here and to be learning from you. And we've got several more great questions in this video to cover about co-op. So the next one is, can a student take classes during a co-op, and does co-op count as a course credit?
Great question. If a student secures a co-op, they are automatically assigned or registered for a course called the Co-op Work Experience, which is a 0 credit, 0 tuition course. And it tells the university, the registrar, and even the US government, if you're an international student, that you are indeed a full-time student. Up to this point, students, if approved by the co-op coordinator, are allowed to take one course while on co-op, as long as they have one more remaining before they graduate. But we don't really like that. We want students to focus on the co-op and gain that experience, because you never know where that experience can bring you. Those relationships you build at the employer, spending that time instead of on a course, but understanding the company and the culture, some of the skills that you're learning there can be a much stronger value add than taking a course. Therefore, we don't want students to take a course while in co-op, but they are assigned that co-op work experience to tell people you're A-okay.
Yeah, that totally makes sense. You want them to be 100% focused, do a great job, contribute, get that experience, right, and then focus on the classes separately. So I like that.
Yes.
So what are some success factors that you see for students for finding these kind of co-op jobs?
2 ways. One is, what can you do to make yourself more marketable to find those positions you're looking for, such as, what I would say is you updating your resume per job. So if you apply to 100 jobs, you should have 100 different versions of your resume. Starting to network and talk to people about how you can add value to the team and company and why you'd be the best fit. But for what jobs to apply to, there's a lot of research you can look at. We have an internal system at Northeastern where students can find jobs. You can look at company websites to look at information. Go on Facebook or other organizations to learn about the different jobs. Networking events. We have on-campus speakers. The more you can ask questions, the more a student is proactive in trying to figure out what they like or not like, can go a long way in finding out what is the best position for them or what to approach. One other thing I would like to add is you could have a bad experience on a co-op, which is perfectly fine because you might realize that you don't like this industry. You don't like this type of position. It could be the company's too small, too big. You don't like the city. All those experiences are going to be extremely helpful to the student when they look for a full-time job. And the co-op is a way for you or a student to actually try things out. This is the best time to do it, the safest time to do it.
Definitely, definitely. And I know along with good resumes and networking, soft skills, and you mentioned confidence. What do you mean by confidence and how can confidence help students?
Many times students will come to me, they don't know how to write a resume or they're scared to network. They get nervous with an interview. And I believe students perceived confidence in different skills like writing resumes, cover letters, networking. How much they feel confident is going to go a long way in them getting that co-op. I surveyed some of my students and actually presented at a conference where it basically said students that were more confident in these job search skills were more likely to secure a co-op compared to those that weren't that confident. And how do they gain a confidence? Well, taking a co-op prep class, meeting with their advisors such as myself, trying to focus on the positives is going to go a long way. Like, that's a great answer. Now focus on this or tweak this word choice and just practice to help build that confidence.
Yeah.
We can typically tell who's going to get a co-op and who's not just by the way, if they're coming across as confident, if they're following the rules that we talk or the strategies taught in class, those students tend to get the co-op compared to those that don't follow our suggestions. We've been doing this for well over 100 years. We know the co-op business and the skill, what the employers are looking for. Trust us, i.e. the co-op advisors, we're not going to steer you in the wrong direction.
Yeah, you guys know it works. That's awesome. I love it. And so another great question we got from a student is, say they do a long co-op, several months long, and they even have some credits left to complete. Is it possible for them to extend their graduation to be able to complete their master's degree after a co-op?
That's a little bit more complicated answer, but let's use within the College of Engineering. If a student is on a co-op and say it's an 8-month co-op and they still have some credits remaining, yes, they can extend the program working with the Office of Global Services and the registrar, et cetera, et cetera. If students are going on our second or third co-op, which does happen sometimes, different colleges within Northeastern, the answer is you can't extend your stay beyond that. So you'll need to watch out and be careful and talk to your program advisor. But within our College of Engineering, if you go on one co-op, if it's an 8-month co-op, you can extend it if it's considered important to your studies.
Okay. So kind of case by case and department by department.
Yeah.
Always good to double and triple check those things.
Right.
Great. My friends, if you are loving this video and learning a lot from John, hit that like button to say thanks for him hanging out and sharing his experience and wisdom. And our chai question for you guys who are watching is, what kind of co-op positions are you looking for? Go ahead and tell us in the comments which kind of companies, industries, roles are you looking for a co-op. Let us know. Be kind of fun to see what you guys are doing. Maybe you can connect with other people as well. A couple more questions left here about co-op we want to help you guys with. So the next one for you, John, is what are the best industries and companies for finding a co-op? I know this is a question we got a lot.
The trends that we are seeing right now is data analytics. The concern is that everyone wants to go into data analytics. Even within the College of Northeastern, we have like 3 or 4 different majors or programs. They're all going for the same jobs, but there is a space available or a need. I'm in engineering. Supply chain is a big piece as well. What I tell students is 2 things. One, don't chase returns, which is if everyone's going to this major, don't go in there because you think you're going to get the job, because one, you may not like it. Two, all the jobs could be gone, or just the competition.
Yeah.
What I tell students is, what do you want to do? Because usually you can find something. It might be harder in some areas than the others. Again, that goes back to how confident you are to network and doing resumes, and how comfortable you are talking to people. Usually, and to determine what you like to do, what are your favorite skill sets, and then you can find skill sets in many different ways, which is across industries, across jobs, companies, and that can go a long way. I wanted to be a diplomat when I was younger. I wanted to go in the foreign service. I didn't get there, but I love international. The international culture fascinates me. And look what I'm doing here. I'm actually working at Northeastern University, the largest university with the most international students. I'm working with international people. It's, even though I couldn't become a diplomat, I'm using the same skill sets that I wanted to do. It's just a different setting. So if students can rethink, you're going to open up a lot more, opportunities than you realize.
No, that's great. Yeah. Just don't be focused on one thing, but be open. There's so many opportunities in America, different industries, different company sizes. And so don't narrow yourself or limit yourself too narrow, especially with all the competition. Now, thankfully, students get these co-op jobs following your guys' tips and advice. So what makes a student successful during their co-op? How do they make the most of it and really thrive there?
Again, a great question. What I tell my students or advisees is simple things can go a long way. Smile. Say hello to everybody in the office. How are you today? How was your weekend? I know a lot of times students might be, or any new employee might be bored at first because they don't think they have enough to do. Reach out to your coworkers and say, can I help you with anything? What can I do? Now, if they say yes, you have to do it sincerely and then follow through. You just don't say it and not do it. But being sincere, friendly, smiling, willing to take on other opportunities that you're giving, other work. And it doesn't matter if you're cleaning the floor or analyzing thousands of rows of data. You're doing something that's going to be impactful for the company. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought you in. So always remember that you're there to add value to the team, that they like you, otherwise they wouldn't have brought you in. And to just go in there with an open attitude and you say, I want to learn as much as you can, and being receptive to feedback, that can go a long way.
I love it. Such great tips. John, this has been incredible. And again, thank you so much for all you do there at NEU, helping, guiding, supporting the students there. Any way students could connect or learn more about NEU and the co-op programs there?
Yes, you can go on, obviously, on the Northeastern website. You can connect with me, John Blakeney, and my name will be hopefully on the video. And just say that where you found me, and I'll be happily to connect with you or accept your invitation. Feel free to reach out to me in LinkedIn, and I'll be more than happy to respond to your questions or inquiries, or talk to you if need be.
Fantastic. And we're also going to be making another video with John, and he's going to be giving some expert tips for actually how to land these co-ops. So this video is about most common questions. We're making another video about how to get these jobs, how to land co-ops, real job search tips and strategies. So be sure to check out that other video. Like John said, connect with us online on social media. We'll have his LinkedIn and other ways you can connect with Chine Coaching as well as on LinkedIn and Instagram. Make sure you're subscribed to our e-newsletter as well for tips and resources and fun live events that we do. My friends, thanks so much for tuning in. We really appreciate you being a part of the Chine Coaching community, and we'll see you next time. Cheers.